Psychologists have studied self-made millionaires for decades, and they all found the same thing. It's not intelligence, it's not luck, and it's definitely not talent. It's a specific set of mental habits that anybody can learn. And the scary part? Most people do the exact opposite without even realizing it. Stay until the end, because habit number 4 is the one that separates people who dream about wealth from people who actually build it. Here's the first thing psychologists discovered about wealthy people. They don't think about goals the way you do. Most people set a goal, lose 20 pounds, make $100,000, and then they wait, they hope, they motivate themselves for 2 weeks and then fall off. Successful people think differently. Instead of asking, what do I want? They ask, what system will get me there automatically? Instead of, I want to save $10,000, they set up an automatic transfer the day after payday. The money moves before they can spend it. Psychologist Dr. B.J. Fogg at Stanford calls this behavior design. Building your environment so the right actions happen automatically without willpower. Because willpower runs out. Systems don't. The second habit is one that most people find genuinely uncomfortable to hear. Self-made millionaires on average fail 3.8 times before their first major success. That's not a motivational quote, that's data from a Harvard Business School study tracking entrepreneurs over 10 years. But here's the psychology behind it. They don't process failure the same way. When the average person fails, they think, I am a failure. When a wealthy person fails, they think that approach failed. What does that tell me? Psychologists call this growth mindset, a term coined by Stanford professor Carol Dweck. But it goes deeper than just staying positive. It's about genuinely being curious about failure instead of ashamed of it. Every failure's data. Data is valuable. Valuable data makes you richer. This one is becoming more important every single year. Wealthy people are obsessive about where their attention goes, because they understand something most people don't. Attention is your most valuable asset, more valuable than money, because attention creates money. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day according to research from Asurian. That's once every 10 minutes. Every time you pick up your phone, you spend 23 minutes, according to UC Irvine research, getting your focus back fully. Do the math. If you check your phone 96 times a day, you are losing hours of deep focused work every single day. Wealthy people use tools like phone-free morning blocks, app timers, and single tasking to protect their attention. They treat distraction like a financial leak, small daily losses that add up to massive long-term costs. Dr. Thomas Stanley spent 20 years studying self-made millionaires in America. He interviewed over 1,200 of them for his book The Millionaire Next Door, and what he found shocked everyone. The majority of millionaires didn't drive luxury cars. They didn't live in mansions. They didn't wear expensive watches. They lived in average neighborhoods, drove used cars, and shopped at regular stores. But they all shared one psychological trait. They were deeply uncomfortable with waste. Not just financial waste. Time, waste. Energy, waste. Attention, waste. They had an almost allergic reaction to spending resources, any resources, on things that didn't move them forward. That discomfort with waste isn't something they were born with. It's a mental habit they built over time, and you can build it too, starting today. You've probably heard that successful people visualize their goals, but psychology shows that most people do visualization completely wrong, and it actually makes them less likely to succeed. Here's the problem. When you only visualize the outcome, the mansion, the car, the body, I see, your brain releases dopamine as if you already have it, and that dopamine hit reduces your motivation to actually go get it. Your brain thinks you're already there. Psychologist Gabriele Oettingen at NYU discovered the correct method. It's called WOOP, wish, outcome, obstacle, plan. You visualize the goal and the obstacles and your specific plan to overcome them. This method has been shown in studies to increase success rates by up to 50%. compared to positive visualization alone. Rich people don't just dream about success, they mentally rehearse the hard parts. This is the habit that changes everything, and almost nobody talks about it. Before wealthy people change their actions, they change how they see themselves. They don't say, "I'm trying to get healthy." They say, "I'm someone who prioritizes their health." They don't say, "I'm trying to save money." They say, "I'm an investor." Psychologist James Clear popularized this concept in Atomic Habits: identity-based change. When your behavior is tied to your identity, it becomes automatic. You don't negotiate with yourself every morning about whether to exercise. Healthy people exercise. That's who you are. The most powerful question you can ask yourself today is not, "What do I want to achieve?" It's, "Who do I need to become?" Because when you become that person, the achievements follow automatically. You now understand the 5 psychological habits that separate self-made millionaires from everyone else. These aren't theories, they're backed by decades of research and thousands of real case studies, and every single one of them starts in your mind before it shows up in your bank account. If this gave you value, hit subscribe right now. Every week I break down the psychology, health habits and wealth strategies that actually move the needle in real life. No fluff, no gimmicks. Just what works. And watch this video next. It covers the 3 psychological traps that are quietly keeping you broke without you even knowing it. See you there.